Women who, I feel like historically the trope of the middle-aged divorcee is like a really mopey, sad woman who sits in pajamas on Saturday night with a big, huge glass of wine, and people try to come around and convince her to start dating. And
I'm in.
That was fast. Grab some of
Can
those.
you hold on a second? I gotta take this call.
Who the hell takes a call in the middle of a robbery?
Life was complicated. But in spite of everything, I was making it work. And for the first time in a while, the future seemed promising.
Jon Hamm returns as the high-flying financial executive turned high-stakes home invader and burglar Andrew Cooper. In season 2 of Your Friends and Neighbours, alongside Amanda Peet, returning as his ex-wife and mother of his problematic teenagers, Mel. Theirs continues to be a complicated co-parenting dynamic after the events of season 1. But now, as they face the old challenges of life and the new adversaries added into the mix, Mel and Coop have to navigate raising children, middle age, unresolved feelings, and an uncertain future. As always, making a recipe for disaster, with the slight but possible outcome of success.
Judita DaSilva, Arise Play Nigeria. Now, Hi.
where are you?
I'm actually in London at the moment.
Oh, you're in London. Okay.
Yeah. Well, from season 1 to season 2, I found it interesting that your character is almost like this interesting examination of the emotional, practical, and sexual dimensions of divorce from the perspective of a woman who essentially still loves her husband.
Yeah.
So when you're playing a role that speaks to a topic that is very familiar, but from a point of view that's rather alternative, does that make it more interesting to play?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think historically the women who, I feel like historically the trope of the middle-aged divorcee is like a really mopey, sad woman who sits in pajamas on Saturday night with a big, huge glass of wine, and people try to come around and convince her to start dating. And I feel like from the beginning, he was really kind of avoiding that trope. And so it made sense to me, even though I was surprised he was going to write about menopause, it made sense to me that he was willing to go there, because I think he finds it interesting and it's powerful stuff. It's dramatic, and it's great that it's in a popular show right now. I feel really grateful that he went there.
Who is this guy? He's throwing himself a welcome to town party. It's like the Great Gatsby.
Oh, and Ash. My friends just call me Ash.
Andrew Cooper.
Coop, your reputation precedes you.
I'm a simple man.
I think both of us know that's not true. You, my friend, have complicated written all over you. Turns out I had no idea how complicated.
I can't explain.
Can you really?
You're not gonna turn me in?
I like a guy who colors outside the lines.
While Andrew's double life of family man by day and criminal by night continues to unfold, unexpected developments for both him and Mel complicate their lives even further. A new neighbor in town adds a rogue element to Andrew's endeavors as a thief. Mel's personal life challenges add a dimension of reality, typically a woman's burden to bear. And the banality of her circumstances running alongside her husband's is an entertaining contrast. Thus, season 2 of Your Friends and Neighbours reflects their lives as absurd, but oddly relatable.
And in season 2, I found that your performance functions in tandem with John's, because it's almost as though your thread of the series represents the representation of the banality of everyday life and the challenges of middle age in contrast to the bombast of his criminal life. So did you feel that as an actor, you have to have a kind of bird's eye view awareness of the totality of the narrative in order to be able to effectively provide that context and contrast that your side of the narrative portrays?
I try really hard never to have a bird's eye view unless
Okay.
unless I'm writing, and even then you always want to try to get in there with your characters, I think. Um, so but it's so interesting you're saying that because in some ways I think they're both on sort of they're both spiraling on these parallel tracks in season two anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and things are kind of unraveling for both of them, and they're both kind of pushing against that suburban ennui banality that you're referring to. I think it's just that they're not doing it together.
Yeah.
And his is more grave in terms of the fact that it's illegal, and Mel's are more sort of these feeble rebellions that, you know, with the story with her neighbors and stuff like that. So yeah, it's interesting that you're saying that.
I deal with a lot of dangerous people. You can help me out, or you can get arrested. You want to split a chocolate cake? How are you with gluten? Can we get 2 forks, please?
These people hate me. You were gonna destroy my family. I panicked.
Do I need to worry about you?
Her being around, how does it not bother you?
Maybe I have bigger problems.
Keeping a foot in each boat, that is how a fool drowns.
Did you finally, it's like, did it appeal to you more, the character having a story that you speak to the issues of middle age for women, but you're not making fun of it or you're not sending it up? It's just the functionality of how you get through it day to day, and that's where the narrative comes from.
Yes, I was really excited that that Jonathan Tropper wanted to kind of dig into it and use it as part of her plot line, and in particular like the rage. And I appreciate that some of it is entertaining, and even in that he was able to make it funny without, as you said, like, you know, having her be, or menopause be, some kind of like, you know, laughable
Yeah.
side story. So, because if menopause is boring, and, you know, it's boring, and it's important that the storyline isn't boring. The storyline that features menopause is actually like, you know, interesting and compelling. That was important to me. I didn't want it to be just someone sitting there being like, I'm fat, no one wants to date me. You know, I'm having another hot flash. Like that would have killed me. So
Yeah.
it's important to me that he made it compelling and like kind of more explosive and sexual and all of it.
Well, brilliant performance. I really enjoyed the character, and thank you for talking with us.
Thank you so much.
Are you worried?
I'm worried I might get worried.
We're all friends here.
Are we terrible people?
I was playing the long game. And that game was just getting started.